that's fair or not. But what's the alternative? Who else can be on the front lines?
I would be an advocate for a full-on cyber force.
Ooh.
I would be we have the Navy.
If you want an internet, somebody has to do this.
It's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so let's think through the multi-domain operations. Sea, land, air, space, cyber. We have the Navy for the sea, the Army for land, Air Force handles air and space. I would be an advocate for a full-on cyber force.
Ooh.
I would be an advocate for something like that because it's already happening, dude. Let's don't kid ourselves.
Yeah, but you know what? I want accountability. Like, you say Cyberforce, all I hear is NSA. All I hear is, what? No, we don't. Why would we even look at your stuff? We don't care. It's not like we're going through your emails and your phone calls. Oh, well, here's a paper that says you are. Well, okay, well, it turns out we were. But, I mean, why does it really matter? It's not like we even look at them. Okay, well, we actually do look at them. But, you know, I think there's some trust that's been lost. And recent polling, I saw a Gallup poll last month, I mean, for the first time maybe in ever, people view their own government in the United States as the biggest problem in their lives. And is that fair? Well, I think the government does a lot of things right, too. But some trust has been broken there. So the idea of a cyber force sounds nice, but man, I'd like to see some accountability on that we haven't seen from some of the other groups who operate in similar domains.
Can I add a little bit more color to that picture you're painting there?
Yeah, sure.
So you do realize that there are already cyber operations that happen within the military, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Come on.
Okay, you understand there's more happening than just government tapping phones kind of thing, right?
I do.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. By the way, I just straight up assume that because my phone has a transmitter on it and it has a camera, I just assume that it's at all times streaming pictures of me somewhere. Do you assume that?
I assume the same. Yep, and I maneuver and handle my phone in keeping with that. So when it's bidet time, I am very thoughtful about how my phone is positioned should I be holding it in my hands.
No, I mean, every once in a while, I like to make it fun for whoever's having to watch those images.
I don't think that would be fun for those people.
So, like when I'm in the shower, sometimes, I check social media in the shower. I'll throw my phone out of the shower, and I get out of the shower, and like in Halo, people would play, and then they would go, and they would squat over.
Oh, no. Oh, you do not. No, you don't. Oh, stop.
I just leave that to your imagination. It's like, what's up?
No, no one's imagining anything. You filled everything in. All the dots are connected. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's problematic. Have you, everybody knows about 1984. Have you ever actually read the whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah, how did I do it? Maybe I didn't read it. They have these viewing screens, right?
They do, telescreens.
And telescreens are in your house. Yeah, I've read it because I know the whole story, and I didn't watch any kind of movie or anything. I remember reading it, and then there was this couple in there, and they liked each other, and then they were...
Yeah.
Okay.
The Muse song, Resistance. I don't know this for sure, I've never looked into it, but I feel like the Muse song, Resistance, is about the main characters in 1984, that love is our resistance, because love is basically outlawed and sexuality is outlawed. Everything is for the party in this imagined world of Oceania in the second half of the 20th century. But one of the things that really stood out to me was how different everyone's behavior became when they knew everything was being watched. And we're pretty flippant about it right now, or we try to be, or we make jokes about it. But I'm different in conversation since it became apparent that someone is always listening, and since it became right to start acting like that. I'm different, and I don't think that's good. I really think freedom of human thought and expression is absolutely crucial, and even if it's not illegal to say things and think things, it might be later. I'm very, very troubled by that aspect of things. So I'm still pushing back a little bit on what exactly the cyber force would do. How exactly would the cyber force interact with, say, the First Amendment and speech issues, because I don't really want a branch of the government making decisions about approved speech or not approved speech. If all they do is protect speech, full stop, that would be more interesting to me.
Can I go on a rabbit trail that is going to tickle parts of your brain?
I accept.
Google the word panopticon.
Alright.
So you said something there that I thought was very interesting. In 1984, you said the main characters behaved differently when they thought they were being watched at all times.
Well, they behaved differently because they knew they were being watched at all times.
There was a jail designed with this in mind. It's called a panopticon, and the idea is you could minimize the amount of oversight from an overseer and maximize the number of people that were being watched, but you weren't necessarily watching them at all times. All you had to do is create the possibility that they were being watched in order for them to change their behavior. So this panopticon was designed a long time ago by this architect, and it was a style for a jail. And imagine a circle, and you have these cells along the edge of the room in all directions. And you can have a multiple level jail with open walls towards the center. And as long as you put one guard in the center of the panopticon, that one guard could monitor all of the inmates at the exact same time.
Unreal.
And that guard could read a book, and just with one little glance of the eye, he could monitor any single prisoner in the entire building.
Wow, I'm scrolling through, I'm looking at pictures here. This is, holy cow, this was designed by Jeremy Bentham. Do you know that name?
No, I don't.
How about John Stuart Mill?
No.
Okay,
Bring me up to speed. If I wanted to learn more about Jeremy Bentham, what should I read?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything you wrote.
Hmm.
Let's just Google it. Here, hang on a second.
What?
Anything on my shelves, and I don't
Jeremy
know.
Bentham's severed head on display?
What?
What?
Is that really a thing?
Dude, we're in the rabbit hole.
No, this is a good rabbit hole. Yeah, here we go. I'm just in the Wikipedia article. The fundamental axiom of his philosophy is that the greatest happiness of the greatest number is the measure of right and wrong.
Wow, that is ladder logic.
Yeah, so you can see that Bentham, he doesn't sound like my libertine live and let liveism that starts from the assumption that all people have value because people are created in the image of God. So people I agree with, people I disagree with, doesn't matter whether I like your ideas or not, you have value and you're allowed to think them. Bentham is more arriving in a similar place as me by saying we just add up the total amount of happiness. So I guess that's a hedonism to a degree of the most people, and we do that. My problem with utilitarianism, and the reason I wouldn't say I am that, is because you're going to shaft a certain minority of people whose happiness isn't drawn from the same things as the majority.
Interesting.
But I still couldn't name you one book that he wrote. Do you see anything here?
No.
Okay.
That's a fun little rabbit hole, right? So people
That's a very fun rabbit hole.
People
Thank you for
change
indulging me.
when they're being watched. We went to Panopticon, and then we went to Jeremy Bentham. And who was the other person?
Well, I just threw out another example of a utilitarian. John Stuart Mill is kind of the famous one.
Man. Okay, this was fun, dude. I feel like we could keep going, but
Yeah, well, I think we're going to. This is the second time that this topic has come up. You've been researching this and thinking about it for months. We've been talking about it. Maybe in a future conversation we could talk about, are you okay with people knowing that we gamed out the conclusion to your last video together?
yeah, that's fine. Which part?
Well, I mean the part about what do you do about it? And that's kind of where I'd like to end this conversation, is it doesn't take a tremendous amount of thought to look at the world and say, oh man, that's a problem. Oh, that's so dark. Well, that's like 1984. But what do you do about it? I mean, you're connected to the internet. What are your options?
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, that was feedback I got from a lot of people. They're like, hey, this is doom and gloom. Give me something happy.
Yeah, but your video ends with that.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, your suggestion to just end the video and get out, that's exactly how I ended it. I think it's important, the things that we said, intentional unity is super important. What's really interesting to me is watching the people attack this video in the comments, it makes me wonder who they are. And their attacks are pretty dumb.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if I was the bad guy and I was trying to make people hate each other, and then there's this person that made a video just basically telling everybody my battle plan.
Yeah.
You got to try to inject some uncertainty in that, right?
Yeah, I would get out the crap Gatling gun and just indiscriminately fire it against the wall
Oh,
and
exactly.
hope stuff sticks. Yeah. Because of the BS asymmetry principle.
Exactly.
Throw chaos into the midst of order and let people have to figure out, what order of magnitude it's going to take to undo the BS.
Yeah, that's why the videos that I make on the YouTube algorithm issue, I may just address the comment section. I may just say that.
Might be wise.
Yeah. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to scroll down. You're going to read a bunch of comments here. Some of those comments are going to be real, and some of those comments are going to be coordinated inauthentic behavior. And the reason they're going to be there is because the goal is to create uncertainty about what is true and what is not. Just say it that clear.
Yep.
It's really fun. It's really fun to try to figure this stuff out and try to discern the hearts of evil people. And let's be honest. I mean, these people in developing nations trying to get money for their families.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's not necessarily evil. They're just doing the best they can.
No. But what is an unfortunate mirror that is held up to us is that people in a developing country look at us and they're like, how can we get people to pay attention? Oh, these people are suckers for fighting with each other. Here you go. We'll just throw out stuff to bicker about. It doesn't matter what it is. They'll bicker. We'll get eyeballs.
Oh, wow. These comments, I just pulled it up. The ones that are being filtered out automatically by YouTube are very...
Oh, you went to the auto blacklist, the held for review section?
Yeah, here's...
Okay, people don't know what that is. Third chair, when you have a YouTube channel, you have comments that just automatically post. They pass all the filters. Maybe you've got a banned words list. I have a few words I just would rather not see appear in my comment section. And anything that trips one of those filter triggers goes to my held for review section. And sometimes I get around to going and looking at those and approving some or agreeing with the filter that they should be deleted. But that is where the dumpster fire is.
Yeah, it is. So this is where I'm at right now. There's some interesting stuff in here. Imperialist pig, but interesting video. Hashtag hands off Venezuela.
What?
Yeah. There's someone referencing the 6 domains, the spiritual domain. That one got pulled. Oh, they left a YouTube link there. So this is a case where that might happen. So here's a person. They have a YouTube channel called Salt and Light, right? And they have...
Oh, that's a Bible reference.
It is. And they've left a comment here. There's a 6 domain, the spiritual domain, and they have a YouTube link here. And I have automatically filtered out anything that has a YouTube link in it because I don't want people linking offsite or to crazy stuff, right? And this is the kind of person that would probably get upset that they were suppressed.
Yeah.
I went to the link that they were going to link to, and it's like, it starts with angels singing and stuff. Yeah, so I don't want people linking away from
that. Remember what I was describing earlier? Yeah, that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I get bombarded with that. Yeah, and here's a tip also for the third chair. If you want your comment to appear in a YouTube video, don't include links to other things.
Yeah.
The filter will almost always throw that out.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the video I made was propaganda?
Propaganda is one of those nutty words that has negative connotations, probably should, but it isn't always a historically negative thing. So I'll say part yes, but propaganda can also be truth. And so it's obviously being presented from the perspective of someone who likes his own country and has confidence in his own country's military. But what you're doing with the video is turning over cards and trying to point out truth. And that's a little different than what some of the negative propaganda of the past has been about. I don't feel like your video was trying to manipulate people. Let me put it that way. It was an anti-manipulation video that is still coming from a certain angle. I mean, you live in a country and you like certain things.
So Merriam-Webster, propaganda, noun. Looks like it was, at some point, a congregation of Roman curia having jurisdiction over missionary territories and related institutions. So that's if you capitalize the word. Apparently there was a thing called the propaganda. That's interesting.
Wow. I have a big, big area of subject matter, and I'm always learning new stuff. I've never heard that.
Okay, so definition number 2. Lowercase p, propaganda. The spreading of ideas, information, or rumor for the purpose of helping or injuring an institution, a cause, or a person. So, spreading ideas, information, or rumor. So I certainly was wanting to spread ideas and information for the purpose of helping an institution.
Yeah, if we're going with that definition,
Then it was propaganda.
I'm not prepared to call it propaganda. No, information, especially of a biased or misleading nature. That's not what you just
It
made.
didn't say that.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, I'm looking at a different definition.
No. This says the spreading of ideas, comma, information, comma, or rumor. So there's an or there for the purpose of helping or.
Oh, how interesting.
Okay, third.
No, check this out though. This is illustrating what I was saying about propaganda being a word that people aren't sure on the definition of. Because here's Google's definition of propaganda. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. That's their number one definition. So there you've got two pretty reputable sources that can't even agree on what this word actually means.
Let's be exact in our language here. When you said that is Google's definition, I don't think that's accurate. You're saying Google.com?
It's the definition that Google pulls up.
Okay, so let's.
And actually gives you as a Google search result.
The world I'm living in right now is I'm going to start attributing words to Google, like the company Google. So I have to be very careful with what I say, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. Who do you attribute? Is this dictionary.com? Who does Google use when they give you a return?
So this is another thing I'm learning. This next video I'm working on is with an organization called MediaWise, and it's about media literacy. And a lot of people just Google and they come up with the first thing they see, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's the facts. That's the information."
Of course.
And because things like Watch It exist in the text form, you have to be very careful with attributing sources.
You know what though? This is confusing because really, what is the source here? Let me Google this. Who does Google use for definitions? I don't know.
Oh wow, you can't find.
There's nothing there. It's Google's definition. I'm telling you. I'm sure it's being drawn from a source, but it is not linked.
Yeah, it is Google's definition. You're right.
They're not linking it to anything else. I think my first read was the correct read. That is bizarre.
Please.
Google's defining words.
Please forgive me for my tone. In hindsight, my tone sounds patronizing and arrogant.
A tiny bit like
Yeah, it does. I'm sorry, dude.
We know each other's dance steps.
Forgive me. Still, I apologize.
It's good, buddy. I know you are the knower.
You're awful.
A little bit. But really, back to the point. This whole episode, this whole conversation, has really been about propaganda, whether intentional or otherwise, countermeasures to propaganda. We remember some of what that looked like during World War II, though we didn't get into it deeply. And now here we are. You bring up the word. I tell you, I don't think people even agree on the definition. This is one of those really slippery words. You go to one website, I go to another website, and we arrive at really, frankly, very different definitions. Isn't it intriguing that we can't even agree on how to define the topic we're trying to discuss?
The waters are muddy, man.
They're muddy. I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Captain America propaganda?
I don't know. I don't understand Captain America. You get all these people with superpowers, and he's like, I've got a shield, and I was a soldier one time, so I'll just block bullets.
A shield that he throws. It's like the quintessential defensive weapon, but, well, if I'm really pushed, I can also throw it and hit you in the face with it.
It's just dumb.
The analogy sort of breaks down as soon as you throw it.
I was Captain America for Halloween one time.
Did you wear underwear on the outside of your pants?
I did not. That's a good idea, though.
Well, then you didn't get it right, but nice try. So what happened?
So explain Captain America to me. Who is, you know his name, don't you? Like his actual name.
Steve Rogers. Come on, everybody knows his name. The third chair was shouting in unison at you when you asked that question.
Sorry, I didn't know.
It's all right. You're still a good man.
I know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I know
Yes.
Clark Kent is Superman. I know Bruce
That's right.
Wayne is Batman.
Yes.
These are all Marvel characters. No, wait. No, don't. That's DC, right? They're all
Those
DC.
are both DC. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
What's Iron Man's name?
Iron Man. Oh my gosh.
You got this.
Oh my gosh.
First name Tony.
Tony Stark. Okay.
Okay, that's pretty good. What's the Hulk's real name?
The Hulk he's a professor.
Yeah.
Oh golly, it's like two names together.
Yeah.
Uh,
Remember why Wade's dad named him Wade?
Wade Watts. Yeah,
Because it's same initial and superhero.
because it's sound like a superhero thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry, I don't know who the Hulk is.
Bruce
Banner.
Banner. See, there you go. You got all this stuff rattling around there. Okay, we're not quite done here yet. Okay, one more.
What's Superwoman's name?
I don't know. I don't like DC. What's Wolverine's real name?
Did you just hand wave everything? All this stuff is hyper important, except the things I don't like. I'll hand wave those away. Those are not
Oh
important.
yeah. You know what? I think we can all agree that is how this works. You bring up stuff, and I just, dude,
She has an
not
invisible jet.
interested, brother. Superwoman does not have an invisible jet. You're thinking of Wonder Woman, dude. Wonder Woman's name is Diana.
Oh my gosh, I look like an idiot right now, don't I?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start with how disappointing that is. I mean, holy cow, man. Like, that's the second time in, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
You've scolded me, and you were just, not right at all? I don't know. I still want to be friends, but dang, dude.
Who is Superwoman?
That one I really don't know. That's getting too far down the rabbit hole for me.
Okay, so Wonder Woman is the thing.
Yeah.
God, I feel like an idiot.
But Wolverine. Did you get Wolverine? Do you have Wolverine?
Oh yeah, Wolverine's Logan.
Just Logan. Yeah, there you go.
That's it. It's just Logan.
Yeah, you did pretty well. I don't think you should feel any shame.
You know what?
Maybe a little shame.
You know, in all seriousness, we talked about all this super complex, like geopolitical, huge things, all these big things, and like my brain really loves it, and I like trying to figure it out. And then I got a little anxiety there when we started going through the superhero characters. You're so much better at pop culture than I am.
I don't know about that, but it makes me happy that you feel anxiety over really pressing important things like that.
I really do.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. You came off great. I can't think of anything that if I were you, I'd like to go back and do differently. I think you were great. So a whole bunch of you have decided that you want to go miles above and beyond and support this program financially, which is ridiculously, incredibly generous.
And encouraging.
Yes. Well, yes. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth, literally. It just means a ton to know that many people on the internet resonate with what we're doing and are a part of the conversation enough that you want to participate this way. So, super thank you. And we've done stuff in the past. We did 50-cent pieces a while back. Maybe that's something we should do again. That was pretty cool with the certificates that we did a few months ago. We've done this ridiculous gimmick with the 50-50, which I think is one of the worst ideas in the history of the internet, but yet we haven't taken it down.
It was a great idea.
And
it was a wonderful idea.
Well, it was a good idea when I was sitting at that Arby's by the interstate in Utah. Whatever. I don't know. There were a lot of disemboweled things. Whatever the case, we just got talking just now and goofing around with what do you even call it? What were we doing there?
Let me explain it.
Okay.
I figured out that this voice thing that you do, you're really good at voices, abnormally good at voices.
Thanks.
And I just pulled that string a little bit as to why you're good at voices and all that stuff. It turns out there's more to the story than I expected. So we just recorded a little mini segment, and we don't really have a place where it can logically go in an episode, because this is a pretty long episode as it is. But I thought it'd be cool to offer that up to patrons, because, so you have something extra that you get for being a patron on Patreon. I think I don't know, I just think it'd be cool. Can we do that?
Yeah, so we just put it on there, for patrons at any level, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's patreon.com/no-dumb-questions. Let me spell the whole thing out.
Yep, that's true.
Total blatant gimmick, because absolutely blatantly we're asking for you to consider being a part of it in that way. But even if that's not your thing, we're still super grateful that everybody's here and just listening and being a part of the show. So, thanks.
Yeah, totally. So, patreon.com/no-dumb-questions. What should we call it? Matt Voices or something like that?
No, we're going to decide that later. I'm not committing to it right now.
All right. Just give him a taste of the Telemundo announcer. Do it now. Do it. You're opening the desk drawer and you're pulling out a little stick-on mustache, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. La Reina del Sur, segunda temporada estrena mundial. Dang it, I don't know how to say that number.
What was that?
Does that count?
What did you say?
It's for a show on
Temperado.
Telemundo.
I heard temporary.
It's a new series that's starting on the 22nd of April. Only on Telemundo. It's gonna
You
be
rolled that R like a boss, man. I can't do that.
You gotta be ready, man.
How do you do that? Oh, well, yeah. Well, we talked about that.
Really? You can't roll that R?
I can't. Hold on. I have to have a certain amount of spit going on. Right.
That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It's hard.
Yeah, it's easier when you're doing the Telemundo voice. Let me tell you, it just
Well, you gotta have the
Just sort of.
mustache. I don't have a mustache that I can stick on like that.
yeah, okay, you're making sense.
Anyway, do this, Matt. So tell everybody
Yeah,
the Patreon URL, but in the
my-
Telemundo announcer
Yeah,
voice.
it'd be my great honor.
Yeah.
Apoya el programa en patreon.com/no dumb
Did you
questions.
say Patreon.com?
Yeah, that's what you say. You say .com.
Is that what they say?
Apoya el programa en patreon.com/no dumb questions.
Dude, like in my head, you are wearing a mustache, and
Yeah,
you got
absolutely.
like really big. It's just hard to.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Really?
See,
Okay, no, I think that's right.
yeah. So if you want to understand how Matt learned to do that stuff, we'll leave that little segment over at patreon.com/no dumb questions. That's impressive, dude.
This is interesting, but there are some topics that we, and I don't know. I want the third chair to know that this is a very